It's Simon. I'm playing you.
Turn me around.
¿Qué tal amigos de Nación de Acción? ¿Cómo están? Soy George X y como siempre les traemos lo más relevante de las películas de acción en Hollywood. Esta ocasión no es la excepción, tenemos una entrevista exclusiva con los dos directores de la nueva película de Gerard Butler, se llama Gamer. Tenemos a Mark Neveldine y tenemos a Brian Taylor. Before getting into this movie, I want to know more about this new Hollywood duo, Neveldine-Taylor. You guys come from different backgrounds, you have over 25 off-Broadway plays, and Brian is an independent filmmaker. So what is the key for this successful collaboration?
We're completely opposite. I was born and raised in upstate New York, in Watertown, New York, and I grew up hunting and fishing. And Brian grew up he was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. So you have a small town guy and a big city guy getting together and putting everything they have on the table.
It's like a sports team. You know what we want to accomplish, we have a strategy, and we show up and we execute it.
So it's kind of why it works. It's like a marriage, opposites attract.
We just try to have no ego, and we're always holding the cameras ourselves. Both Mark and I started out as DPs and camera operators, so we still shoot every single shot in our movies. We don't just sit back.
We're writing the treatment together, we write the script together. We'll drink beers at a bar, we'll talk about the scenes and the characters, and then we'll just go and have these conversations with the actor, and we both kind of guide them through the scene, We're directors who like the actors to do most of the work.
It is fantastic, and we can see the results on the screen. Let's talk now about the movie. I absolutely loved it. I mean, we are all about action here, and I love the story, I love the characters, I love the action sequences, but I want to know, sometimes you think that everything has been written, and then boom, a project like Gamer comes along, and how was Gamer created? Whose idea was that?
This was just an idea that seemed like really timely to us. It seemed like it would really touch a nerve because so many of the things in the movie are really just slightly exaggerated from what you're seeing right now. I really think that if the technology in the movie existed, that people would buy it and they would use it. And I think if those games existed, Slayers in Society, then I think people would play them. I think people would sign up to be controlled, and I think people would sign up to control. I think it would happen right now if it were available.
We were kind of influenced by all the reality TV shows that were happening and ultimate fighting and watching our friends play video games 24/7.
It's really the world we're living in with just a few technological enhancements.
People love controlling other people. It's already happening. And by the way, more importantly, people love being controlled by other people.
It's absolutely fascinating. People controlling people, video game style. Is this also some sort of prediction for what's going to happen to the human race in a not too far future?
I think it is. I think that we're going to kind of give in to technology and we're going to let it control us. But then what's going to happen is, and a couple years down the road, we're going to get sick of it. People are going to want to get back outside and be like, hey, I want to go out and get out in nature again. I don't want to be addicted to my BlackBerry, and I don't want to be, stuck, like this to my computer for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But it's fun too. Video games are fun. Video games are addicting, and watching TV and watching movies, it's a blast. That's what we get enjoyment out of. It's just about the balance.
The 80s had Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, the 90s had Bruce Willis and Mel Gibson, and today we have Jason Statham and Gerard Butler. Are you guys creating the new breed of action heroes?
I hope so. We want some American guys now, though. It's like we keep having to get these British guys and Scottish guys. I love Jason and Gerard, but it was so funny because both of these roles were written for American characters, and we couldn't find any American actors who we thought were tough enough.
Oh, I don't know. That would be awesome if we were, but I think Statham and Jerry Butler created themselves. I think those guys are, it's a blessing, right, that we had them in our films. I can't believe they actually love being as ridiculous as we do.
Yeah, I was very impressed by the physicality and presence of Gerard Butler in the movie 300, but I was way more impressed with everything he had to go through in Gamer. So yeah, I was wondering if he was like that tough. I mean, I was wondering if he pulled his own stunts.
He did. Jerry did a lot of them. You know, he wanted, actually, there was a giant explosion where his stunt guy came through the window, and there was a big argument because Jerry wanted to do it. So when we set up for rehearsal, and right after the stunt guy practiced rehearsing going through the window, Jerry, without the cameras rolling, he jumps out the window into the airbag just to show everybody that he could do it. And of course, the producers still wouldn't let it happen with the pyrotechnics, but he's that kind of guy. He has that much fun, you know.
Well, you could drop him into the middle of Afghanistan right now, and he'd probably do okay. You know, he really committed to it physically, but at the same time, he's an actor, and he really has a lot of soul, and he can express so much with his eyes. And we really felt that it was important in this movie to not just have, you know, as much as I love Schwarzenegger, to not just have a guy who was a one-dimensional, like, killing machine. This needed to be a guy who was human.
Let's talk about the villain. How about Michael C. Hall as Ken Castle? He has the perfect personality for the role. When did you guys know that he was gonna play the bad guy?
We love Dexter. We think that is like the most killer TV show out there today, and we wrote that movie with Michael C. Hall in mind.
Dexter, he's the best. No, ever since I saw season 1 of Dexter, I knew we had to use this guy. We pretty much wrote the role for him.
He just takes it and creates this character, and you feel the malice inside of him, and you feel this wild character, you know, Ken Castle, that he creates.
I was very pleased to see a lot of action sequences, such as you incorporate a little motocross explosions and car chasings. Does that reflect your passion for action sports?
Absolutely. I'm a big motorcycle rider. I'm into snowmobiles and ATVs, and of course, I don't know if you know, but I shoot about 90% of our action films on rollerblades when I'm filming. So it's just exciting. I'm like an extreme sports guy who has the chance to be on this giant playground of a movie set. And Brian's a lot of the same way. You know, we'll both hang out of the helicopters and hang out of the cars to shoot, and as much as I can, I hop on rollerblades, and I literally get in the middle of the explosions, get in the middle of the car crashes, and have fun.
Obviously, it was a lot of work, but it was worth it because it's a masterpiece. Thank you so much. Congratulations, and looking forward to see, you know, this huge hit, you know, everywhere in the nation.
Thanks, George. You're the man. We appreciate it.
You are listening to Nación de Acción.